Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back to the morning show. I got to tell you, this daylight savings time over here in the United States of America has woke me up a little bit earlier. I'm feeling fresh. You can tell the hair looks good. We showered. And a big announcement, I think for the time being, we are going to retire the intro song just for a little bit. So we're going to go back to our roots. We're going to not really talk about those dangerous streets today. So let's go back to the old intro. What a throwback, huh? What a throwback. All right, welcome back. We have just a billion NBA games to talk about. But before we do that, let's see. Who do we have here? We go, We the People. Jay Blaze, good morning to KD and the kids. Excited about to talk about those Nets. Fenny's here with some snow out in the Pacific Northwest, if you will. Or I guess, is that Pacific like almost Northwest? I don't know. So Rarian, what's up? Borland's here. Top Shot Man. Veronica's here. Jump Shooty. We got Martin Stubbs, Roddy Rod Regulators up in here. Coach Regulator, you from Medfit? That's Medford, Oregon, not Massachusetts. Coach Finstock, Mark, to the houses here. Snoople Loop, K down in the house. Super Luminal, Blazemore, Evan Nico, Yeltsa, Mike Weisberg up early. Borland, Stubbs, Brent. Who else? Federico, JP with some good shade at us. Chewy's here, perfect cereal, the Rhino, Paul Top, BD, Josh Harvey here for that financial advice. Good to see you, Josh. Garen's here. We got Shig. Who else? Did I get everybody? Big Ticket. Hey, good to be back, guys. Good to be back. Thanks everyone who tuned in on Sunday for our football show. Joe Connors, I see you. I see you. I hear you. I understand you. We got a lot of fun stuff coming at you today. We do have an NFL All Day show that's going to be at noon Eastern. And then at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do our SoRare Live Before Lock show again. That seems to have been a lot of fun. People have been into it. This week, we just have a ton of stuff coming at you, okay? The 89 Cavs is back on Wednesday this week. It is happening. We had a schedule conflict, but it's already locked in. Paul saying I sound a little hoarse. You know what, Paul? A friend of ours ran the marathon yesterday, and we went out to see them last night afterwards. And yeah, I think I was like yelling. It was very loud. People in New York were wiling out on a Sunday night. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it's because it was 70 degrees or what, but we get to the bar. There's like the place was packed. I couldn't believe it. Mike, I'm gonna try to find that answer out for today because I don't really know. The other thing we're gonna do today, so we are gonna fire up a giveaway, mixing it up a little bit though, mixing it up. So I'm gonna share screen just so you can see what you got to do. You have to like the stream. You have to subscribe. All right. Obviously, in order to comment, you got to be subbed, baby. And just put hashtag feelings into the chat. And here's why. I found this. We had Katie Hendel from Basketball Feelings and from all of these other publications that she writes for. We had her come on during the opening day show on the October 18th. And I didn't realize this, but there's a behind the paywall. There's a behind the paywall over here. So I'm going to gift a subscription from Basketball Feelings. And the reason that you can see I'm logged in, I saw that she had interviewed Tyler Parker for her podcast, who, again, 2 guests from the show. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm going to gift a subscription over to Basketball Feelings. So there's a lot of good pieces in there. There's a podcast. So mixing it up a little bit, trying to lean into the shooty hoops. You know what I'm saying? Talk some basketball. Talking basketball. I forget what intro song that's from, but anyways, yeah. So mix it up. Hope if you guys have other behind the paywall type subscriptions that you guys really dig. I know Mark Stein has one, but I think we're going to try to lean into some of that for a little bit. We'll still obviously do our So Rare and Top Shot. Wait, New Swami, what did you win last week? Did you DM me, New Swami? Let me see. I'm going to check my DMs right now. Right here. Let me check. You probably did, New Swami, okay? Were you persistent though, man? You got to DM me a couple of times, okay? Sometimes the DMs get they get you wouldn't believe how hectic my DMs were this weekend, okay? They were pretty nuts. Anyway, shoot me another message, Swami. I'll get it to you. I promise. I promise. But anyways, that's what we're gonna do for our giveaway today. We got to get into it though. There was a ton of basketball this weekend. And speaking of a ton of basketball, everybody's playing tonight for the first time and I don't know how long. Also, JJL Smith in the chat. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, he bought the entire $2 floor of the playoff sets, I believe. Or was it playoff sets? He went wilding. He went wilding. Yeah. Also, Deep Threads. Congrats to our million Colby from the Top Shot Streets, or formerly of the Top Shot Streets. I'm not sure if he's still in there. He won the Millie yesterday on DraftKings. Holy hell. But anyways, because they're having, I understand, because they're encouraging everyone to vote tomorrow. There's no basketball games. There's no basketball games tomorrow, so everybody is playing tonight. The one chaotic thing they did, I don't know why. I don't know why they did it this way, but they staggered all the games 15 minutes apart. Now, I don't know what the thought process was behind that, but anyways, Nets Daily and Mark Stein reported the Nets are backing off hiring Ime. Yeah, I did see that. All right, let's get into the hoops. Let's get into the hoops. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun today. All right, we had a bunch of games. We're gonna go. This is what our new Monday plan, guys. I get up a little bit early. We go over all of the freaking games so you don't miss a damn thing. We're going to start here with the Friday night games. The Celtics played the Bulls. Celtics won 123-119. Dude, DeMar DeRozan went off. He had 46 in that game. He had a really good weekend. Vucci Main 24-12. I will say Nikola Vucevic starting to wake up a little bit. He had some like a little bit of a slow start, felt like he wasn't doing a lot, and now he's back into that rebounding machine, putting up a lot of numbers. Perfect Zero says I need an NBA red zone with 15 views at once. I know they have started doing it with this. Is it Jared Greenberg? I forget who the host is, but they have started messing around with that a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, DeRozan popped off a little bit. Vooch is coming back to life. Tatum with the 36 and 12, and Malcolm Brogdon, man. This is what we've been seeing from the Celtics. It's you get 30, you pretty much get like 60 combined between Tatum and Brown, and then every game they switch it up. Somebody else gets like 18 to 20. And on Friday, it was Malcolm Brogdon, who's been playing really well for the Celtics. I mean, that's proven to be a great pickup. He seems to be happy with his role of like the first guy off the bench, but he does seem to be closing. He does seem to be closing for the Celtics. Marcus Smart's been a little, I don't know. I don't like love his start, but anyways, good win for the Celtics. The Cavs continue to cook. The Cavs rested Mitchell and Garland on Friday night. And you know what? Here's what we've learned. The Pistons, maybe not as exciting as we thought they were. They're pretty bad. The Pistons are pretty bad. Oh, they're still exciting. I should say that. I shouldn't say they're not exciting. They're not good. They're a little bit worse than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be a little bit more competitive. Never again say Wendell over Vooch. No way, Stan. I'm still standing by that. I would take Wendell Carter over Vucci, man. But anyways, Cavs won 112-88. Jared Allen had 23 and 6. Kevin Love, again, I feel like once a week, we're going to get a Kevin Love game. He had 21 and 10. Chetty of the Osmonds had 15, and then Cade 19 and 5. Pistons have been playing pretty bad outside of Cade. They played 2 games this weekend, I believe, and I think for the second game I barely wrote anything down because it was just really, really bad. Speaking of down bad, Stan. How about your Heat losing to the I'm trying to lose Indiana Pacers 101-99? Sure, you were without Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero, since forcing himself into the starting lineup, has been absolutely balling. However, just getting crushed on defense. Hero went for 29, 5 and 5. I'll give you a little Hero though. I'll give you a little old school drop. Rough scene for Miami. We'll look at the standings and stuff and kind of see where everyone's sitting as we get towards the end. But Tyler Hero's putting up really good stats. They suck though, man. They suck. Yeah, Heat need help. Oladipo may be done. But this is how down bad you guys were. Like, I truly, and I get like the Oladipo of what he used to be, right? But if we zoom out a little bit, and if we were, this reminds me actually of 2 years ago when the Celtics, when the Lakers were like, dude, just wait till Kendrick Nunn gets back, though. Once Kendrick Nunn gets back, they'll be firing on all cylinders. That's the same thing. You're like, oh man, but once we get Depot, man, once we get Oladipo, he's played, I don't know, 19 minutes in the last 5 years. It's down bad, down bad. Hi, Veronica. Here we go. More people showing up. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag feelings. But anyways, from the Pacers side of things, Bam had 18 and 10 too. Bam, a little bit disappointing right now. But anyways, Halliburton had 22, 9 and 9. Buddy Hale had 25 and 9. And then Benedict Mathurin continues to just freaking ball as a rookie with 23 off the bench. He's like, listen, if you weren't watching yet, now's the time. Chris Duarte got hurt over the weekend. He's going to miss a ton of time, it looks like. So Mathurin I'm assuming, is moved into the starting lineup. Not that mattered, because he basically was playing starters minutes just off the bench. They kept doing this thing where they're like, we'll start Duarte, and then he comes in towards the end of the first quarter and then like plays the rest of the half. He's been really, really good. Very exciting to watch. The rookies, man. Paolo, which we're going to talk about when we get to the Magic. Paolo's been awesome, and Mathurin, man, just absolutely crushing it. Knicks Sixers, you guys saw, I think we were live. I can't remember when the Harden news came out, but Harden is going to miss a month or so. They were without Embiid that game, and the Knicks won 106-104. Jalen Brunson, 23, 7 and 6, man. Brunson has continued to play really, really well. Like, for those Knicks fans in the chat, you guys got to be feeling pretty good with the Brunson signing at this point, right? Like, it just must be nice having a good point guard. D-Rose is saying, is Mathurin the most anticipated for Badger? I got to imagine, D-Rose, that it is Paolo. My guess is it's Paolo, but I mean, I think you'd be excited for either. It reminds me of like the Cade, Mobley, Barnes, Jalen Green situation. But yeah, I'd be definitely down for either of those. Wonder when we get some information around that. I wonder if it's this week. Anyways, RJ had 22 and 9, Randall 17 and 10. Without Embiid and without Harden, Maxey went for 31 and 7. Maxey's putting up big time numbers. He's like, again, I don't know if I want him to be my best scorer on like a good basketball team, but if he's a fantasy play, Maxey's been crushing. And then Tobias Harris, he's still there, 23 and 9. Sixers are in trouble. Perk Serial saying Knicks fans are always mad. There you go. Give it a week or two. Might be Ben. Listen, I'm a big Mathurin believer, man. I love him. When we get to Paolo's games, Paolo is putting up just monster numbers. Nets Wizards, what a shit show, just in general. But anyways, Kyrie's now missed 2 of the 5 games for the minimum 5 game of his suspension. One of the conversations that I was having with John Boy Beats and then a couple people in the Discord was like, is Cam Johnson finally going to get unlocked, right? There was no Seth Curry. I believe Joe Harris was limited, and no Kyrie Irving. I was like, do we finally see Cam Johnson be unleashed? We also saw some Yuta, which were great. SoRare plays if you had them, but I actually picked up both the rare and limited Cam Johnson when that was going down, because I was like, I have a feeling this, if he's ever going to get an opportunity, now's the time. And I ended up flipping that rare for a nice little prof. But anyways, KD 28, 11 and 9. The Nets won, 128-86. This game sucked, but good to see the Nets get a win. Claxton at 18 and 9. Cam 17, 6 and 4 off the bench. On the Wizards side of things, Beal and Kuz. Beal at 20, Kuz at 19 and 5. But yeah, man, good to see Cam popping. And he had 2 good games too. We'll keep talking about it. KD again, like, was pretty efficient in that game. Wizards suck, man. They got off to a hot start, and everybody was like, dude, are the Wizards? Are they real? But they're not. They're bad. Garen says the first base drop of Series 3 was 11-2, so hopefully we see some drops soon. Yeah, it's probably coming. All right, the Grizz and the Hornets. Grizzlies won 130-99. Dylan Brooks had 23, Steven Adams 13 and 19, Bane 19, Morant 12 and 11. Dude, the Hornets are unwatchable right now. They really are. Like, except for my man. Let's do a drop. Let's get another drop in there. PJ Washington. PJ Washington. PJ
Washington.
I mean, he's the only guy I care about. That team sucks. Like, I think they had 2 games this weekend. I don't think I wrote one single stat down for him. Like, Kelly Oubre's playing a lot. Whatever. I don't care. Terry Rozier did make his return. So we'll talk, not in this game, but in the next game that we'll talk about. But man, it's just bad. Oh, there we go. Look, people are pumped for the drop. People are pumped. Get those tangles in, boys. Yeah, man, Hornets are just unwatchable right now. I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast this morning while I was walking the dog, and he was talking about like potential trade targets for Anthony Davis. I don't really see that happening. I don't know. I don't really believe that Anthony Davis is going to get traded. But the Hornets were mentioned about like pairing him up with like LaMelo and stuff. I just, what a dumpster fire the Hornets have turned into. They were fun for like 10 minutes. For like 10 minutes, they were fun, and they are no longer that. Clippers and Spurs. Congrats to the Clips. Finally got a win over the Spurs. 113-106. Paul George, dude, since we've made fun of Paul George, they have been going ham. Let's pull up Basketball Reference just to see like his last couple of games so we can get a feel for what he's been doing. But we made fun of him a little bit. I think it was on a SoRare show like a week ago, just about how like even with Kawhi out, he hasn't been doing shit. Speaking of which, Kawhi, no time to table to return. I saw a great tweet over the weekend that was just kind of like, I guess it was a quote from Paul Pierce. The truth. Why do we give Kawhi all of this? We like give Anthony Davis so much shit for consistently being hurt, and Kawhi's played like 9 games in the last couple of years, and no one gives him crap about it. Anyways, let's look at Paul George. God, somebody donate to the Basketball Reference site so they can update this shit and make it like a little bit more readable. All right, let's go to this year. Let's see what Paul George is doing. So right now he's averaging 24, 6, and 4, but he had some like real duds in there. Let's look at his last few games here. Let's go over just a point. So last couple of games, 34, 32, 28, 35. Wow. Yeah, so Paul George is cooking in these games now. Good to see PG back. Good to see PG back in the streets. We like to see it. PG-13 should be an all-NBA team. I mean, like, at this rate, he will be, especially if Kawhi is going to miss half of the year. Tom Davidson Lynn says, because Kawhi doesn't cry about being injured like AD. I guess. I mean, I guess. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like Kawhi's probably should be taking a little bit more shit. Like, we never know what his injury is. No one, like, it's just a mystery. All right, enough about that game. I'm not going to talk about the Spurs. Well, actually, I should. Zubats for the Clips had 17 and 15, and Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell's been playing big minutes off the bench. He put up 29 in that game. Spurs maybe coming back down to life a little bit. I don't know. That makes sense. That makes sense that they come back to earth, especially with all the shit that they're dealing with the Primo situation. The Spurs came out and they had their statement like push back a lot on the other stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Another shit show. Hopefully this week we're just not hit with like a bunch of crappy news. That would be great. Speaking of crappy news, the Raptors lost Siakam for what looks like it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer. They're going to reevaluate. I think it's a hip abductor thing. Speaking of pain, man, my back's tweaking right now. But yeah, Siakam, man, we've been talking about Siakam like every day about how awesome of a start he's been off to. He's like freaking averaging a triple-double, and now he's going to be out for a little bit. Hold on, I'm seeing some takes on here. Mike said Kawhi took a year and a half and is now hurt again. Not good. Jump shoot, he's saying AD was hurt on the Pels all the time. Didn't feel like Kawhi was hurt on the Spurs that much. Think that history kind of impact. I guess Kawhi's got one more championship than Anthony Davis. Deep Threat says, I think we give Kawhi a pass because it seems like a mental health related. Do we think it's mental health related? I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah, Kawhi gets a pass for the 2019 chip. Yeah, I know. AD has won a chip more recently. And he was the best player on that team. I know we gave LeBron the MVP that year for the finals, but AD was definitely the best player on that team. Anyways, all right, Mavs Raptors. Mavs 111, Raps 110. Siakam 18, 7, and 6 before going down. OG's been balling. He's someone that you should probably take a peek at. Although if you're looking at SoRare, his cap's probably raised a little bit, and he's just been monster steals, guys. But he had 27 and 7. Scott Barnes, who kind of moved into that point guard role. I'm curious how they use him now with Siakam out because Fred VanVleet's back. That's why he moved in the point guard role, but had 11, 10, and 11. Nice little trip dub. Luka is on pace to just smash every single goddamn record, like 35, 8, and 6, just absolutely cooking each and every single game. And then we also had Spencer Dinwiddie with 21 and 7. A note on the Raptors side, on the Mavericks side of things. JaVale McGee is going to miss a little bit of time. Dwight Powell has moved into the starting lineup. I actually didn't think that was going to be useful news. Useful. Just because we've seen this before, and they have Christian Wood, so I thought he was going to be like a starter in a starter in name, right? Like they did that in the playoffs where like Dwight would start, then he would come out. It would be like Maxey and like everybody else. But he played like 26 minutes in his first start after the McGee thing. So I don't know. Maybe that is a real thing. I might have scooped him up on SoRare this morning. Yeah, people are talking about Precious and Chris Boucher. Those are also solid targets. Somebody else that stood out is Thaddeus Young, who I know is more of a low usage guy. His cap is a little bit higher than I wanted it to be. Anyways, we'll talk more about the SoRare stuff towards the end of the show and later today. Jonathan says, "Hey Mike, ask Boston how hard it is to win a championship. One more than Tatum." Ask Boston how one more than Tatum. Yeah. All right. I can't tell who is this a shot at, Jonathan? I can't tell who that a shot at that is. What kind of shot that is? Oh yeah, people want the Luka Magic. I'll give you some Luka Magic because he's been crushing. Luka Magic. Also, real quick, Luka on the season is averaging 36, 8, and 8. 36, 8, and 8 for Luka Doncic. Hey, just a reminder, too, since there's a lot more people joining in, if you haven't done this yet, like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag feelings. We're mixing it up a little bit today with our giveaway. Instead of giving you a $5 Top Shot moment, that'll be worth $3 by the end of the day, and you'll have to pay to get rid of it in a few days. We're giving away a subscription over here to Basketball Feelings, which is Katie Hendel, who came on the show at the beginning of the season. So we're going to she's got some behind the paywall stuff. This podcast with Tyler Parker was great, and a bunch of other stories. So going to gift one of those away towards the end of the show. So remember, like the stream, subscribe, hashtag feelings. Only 56 entrants, baby. All right. Let's keep it going. Are we on to Saturday yet? No, this is still Friday. We got to pick up the gosh darn pace. Yeah, I'm excited to look at the standings towards the end. Mavericks, listen, if you bet on Luka, who I know is the favorite, they're starting to win some more games. However, the Bucks haven't lost yet this year, so I don't know. Maybe we're getting too excited. Pelicans, Warriors. Pels won 114-105. Warriors are in a free fall. But they did sit this game because they sat Curry, Wiggins, Draymond, and Clay. Just it had been a back-to-back. They'd been on the road for a while, and they were just giving them a rest. Jordan Poole at 20 and 9. Kuminga had 18. Kuminga actually looks pretty good in that game. Wiseman, man, I'm starting to feel. Don't hate on Leonard. Oh my God. Dude, he's played like no games. I think it's now okay to be like Kawhi, maybe something's wrong. Anyways. James Wiseman has looked really bad this year, and it's bumming me out. It's bumming me out how bad Wiseman is. I was really hoping that this was going to be his year, that he was going to slowly break out. Sometimes it takes young bigs. I know he's still barely played, but it does not look good right now. And I don't know if the Warriors situation is just bad. Also, hey, you know what, guys? Maybe punching people is bad for team chemistry. Maybe the camaraderie is not great if somebody gets socked in the face. But they're into a little bit of a free fall right now. I'm still not full panic mode, but it doesn't, like we were saying, man, the West is just very, very competitive. I think it's hard if you get off to a slow start to pick it back up. RTG SoRare says, I know it's early, but who do you think is going to the NBA Finals? I'm sticking with my pick from the beginning of the year. Give me Bucks Nuggets. That's my pick. Bucks Nuggets. Bucks in a sweep. And we'll get to the Bucks right now. What a transition, my man, RTG. One other thing about the Pels. I should mention Larry Nance has been playing really good minutes off the bench. He had 20 and 8. CJ 20 and 8, and then Ingram 26, 5 and 5. Zion had a pretty bad game there. He had a really bad game, but let's keep moving. Bucks and Wolves. Bucks 115, Wolves 102. Rudy, they're going to be without Rudy for a little bit. He tested positive for, everybody remember that, for COVID. Giannis, 26, 14, and 11. Drew Holiday, 29-8-6. Bobby Portis 18-8. Karl Anthony Townsend 22-11, and Ant-Man with a 24 spot. There was a great video of Giannis over the weekend. If you guys didn't see it, it's viral. You'll see it. But he's just talking about how like he lists off all of the things that he can do, but he can't shoot threes, and that's why God keeping him humble. Great video. Recommend checking it out. They have been so good. They haven't lost a game yet, and they're still getting back Chris Middleton, right? Like they still don't have their second best player on their team. If anything, right, they get Chris Middleton, Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles is coming back at some point. Like they are only going to get stronger. It's wild. How good. Now you could take a look at their schedule, right? And they haven't played too many guys. Actually, like I think let me actually pull up their schedule real quick just so we can go over it. I'm not going to pull it up for myself, not for you all, but they haven't really been tested with most of their games, right? So they have beaten the Sixers, the Rockets. So, right, the Sixers looked like a good win. They suck. They beat the Rockets. They suck. They beat the Nets. They suck. They beat the Knicks. That looks like a tough win. The Hawks won, especially the Hawks have looked good. Then back-to-back games against the Pistons, then the Wolves, and then we'll get to the Thunder in a little bit. But whatever. You can only beat the guys in front of you. Yeah, Brook Lopez is playing out of his mind right now. Brolo, 34 years old, fresh off back problems, and he's like, nah, man, I'm good. So shut up, Brolo. He had a good game. We'll talk about in a little bit. The Timberwolves, man, just feel funky. They feel funky. I don't love what I'm seeing out there. They're putting up stats, but they just don't feel right. It's still early, though. Still early. The game of the night, though, for me was Blazers-Suns on Friday night. Blazers won 108-106. Blazers were without Anthony Simons. They were without Dame Lillard, and it didn't matter. Jeremy Grant had 30 and 5. He hit a game winner, which was then ruled to travel the next day, which is my favorite thing. I love that they post the last 2-minute reports after the game to just like let us know what stuff they fucked up. Like it can't fix anything. So this game should have gone to overtime. Jeremy Grant like was falling backwards on an inbound pass, caught it with one hand, took like 2 steps and then a third step back and then put it up. And it was a game winner, but it shouldn't have counted. Top Shot Tesla, back to the other game, said Anthony Edwards with 0 dunks, nowhere to go with Gobert clogging the paint. Yeah, Anthony Edwards also probably not handling it super maturely. There's a couple of clips of him just like hands on his hips type energy during plays. Like, it's just bad vibes. Bad vibes over there. Who would have guessed it? Rudy Gobert bringing bad vibes. On the Suns side of things for that game, DeAndre Ayton is back with 24 and 8, and Devin Booker at 25 and 5. That was a fun competitive game. Blazers, that's a big win. So the Blazers had back-to-backs against the Suns. They ended up getting smoked. Wait, Chicken Frog, I agree. Those calls were atrocious. I just think it's so funny that they put it out the next day and there's like nothing you can do about it, right? It's not like they're like, hey, we reviewed the calls. We got to do overtime now. I just think it's funny that it comes out after the fact. It's just an apology, really. Anyways, Jazz-Lakers, that was the last game of Friday night. The Jazz won 130-116. The Lakers lose again. Russ coming off the bench, maybe finding a new role, made the thumbnail 26 and 6. LeBron had 17, 10 and 8. Also, insane LeBron clip from over the weekend where he basically was saying that he was the one who discovered Migos, essentially, is what he was saying. It was just wild. Shout out LeBron. Anthony Davis, 22 and 9. So the Lakers lost 2 games this weekend. We'll talk about the second one in a little bit, but both games on Friday and Saturday, Anthony Davis had really impressive first halves and then just disappeared in the second half, like not even taking shots. It's very bizarre. It's very, very bizarre. Dominic saying, I hope Levine going to recover 100% after the knee surgery. Did he just get hurt again? Did I miss that? I thought he was back. Did he just have surgery, or do you mean from the surgery that he had last year? Yeah, it's crazy. Discovering Migos before their mixtape came out. I know. It's just wild. Lauri Markkanen, 27 and 13. Lauri continuing the ball, and Jordan Clarkson at 20 and 7. Colin Sexton's minutes slowly getting stretched out to played like mid to upper 20s over the weekend, which is good to see. But again, another big win for the Jazz. But anyways, let's move on to Saturday. Saturday, Celtics and Knicks. Celtics won 133-118. Tatum at 26 and 5. Jaylen Brown at 30 and 5. Sammy Hauser kid went 5 for fucking 8 from 3 for 17 points. On the Knicks side of things, Randall at 29-9, Brunson 22-10, RJ at 27. They just said Mitch Robinson's going to miss quite a bit of time. So Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be the new starter for them and get some meaningful minutes. He was pretty solid, 10-14. Zubats light, if you will. It's funny, man. I actually thought I looked at RJ's numbers. RJ had 27, right? I really thought he had a bad game watching that game. And I don't know if you guys watched the game. It just seemed like he had a ton of turnovers. He ended up with 6, which is not a lot, but it's not as many as I thought it was. He just seemed really, really bad. So for him to get 27, I was kind of surprised. Celtics, man, Celtics just look good. Dr. Dunk says, ever since you switched to SoRare, all you talk about is basketball. Isn't that weird that we were talking about Top Shot and not talking about basketball, Dr. Dunks? Are your feelings hurt, Dr. Dunks? Is everything okay? Listen, Top Shot doesn't want me to talk about them. They have made that clear. So we will oblige. Celtics, though, that's a big back-to-back win for them. They had the win against the Bulls and then the win against the Knicks. So good to see. Kings Magic, this game was nuts. So Kings won 126-123. De'Aaron Fox, I'm sure you saw the clip, and he hit like a half-court shot for the dub. Not a half-court. It was like logo Fox, though. I will say, guys, you want me to talk about Top Shot for a second, Dr. Dunks? Here's something I'll say. My new favorite tweet now is after a play happens, right? Like a good play happens. And then someone tweets out the video and is like, it'd be sick. It'd be sick. Imagine you're at that game. You pull out your phone and you're like, holy shit, QR code. I can get that play right now. Right now. Everybody has that same take every time a play happens. It's so funny. It's like, yeah, I know, man. We've been saying the same thing for 2 years. That's like one of the first things Greg ever said on Stream Live. But it just makes me laugh every time. We're all so thirsty and sad. No, I got you, Dr. Dunks. I know. You're good. You're good, Dunky Dunks. I know. No, Mets is definitely the one that did it. Mets is definitely the one that did it this weekend. But it happens all the time. It's not just Mets. Like I'll happily make fun of Mets. That was directed at the greater community. Regulator says Rohopium dropped into the VIP on Saturday and answered a few questions. The best statement he made was that last week was a tough week, but we have a bright one ahead. I'm not gonna say anything because I get DMs. All right. So Kings Magic. Sabone Bone, 25-11 from that game. And this is what I was talking about. Like, yeah, you can say Benedict Mathurin should be the rookie of the year. Let me tell you Paulo's line from Saturday, 33-16. Franz Wagner had 31, and then my man.
Bobo.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull?
No, yeah.
His legs!
Yeah. Long legs.
Oh my god! I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bobo. Like.
Yo, Bobo 23-7, man. Bobo's crazy. Crazy. Noam, I'll let the chat answer this question. Serious question. Can you name one thing to get excited about right now about Top Shot? I'll let the chat answer it, and I'll share I'll share comments that that are good. Bobo is balling right now, and I tweeted out on Saturday, and then some fucking asshole who is a writer for NBC Sports Edge, I think, responded seriously. But I basically was like, at what point do we have to start questioning what Denver did with Bol? The fact that he's getting some minutes to shine. And he's been playing really well, man. Bol's been playing really, really well. And especially one of the nice things about, and I guess this is the difference between what the Magic are doing and what the Nuggets were doing, is that the Magic aren't really trying to win, right? This is an opportunity to see your young guys, let them play, let Paolo and Franz learn how to play together. They're starting really big with Bol in there, and he's, he makes a lot of errors too. He puts you in some really weird spots, but yeah, and good to see both Franz and Paolo getting there in the same game. So Magic should feel good. This is what they should be doing. They should be losing competitive, fun games. All right, here we go. What do we have? What do we have in the chat? Did anybody say anything? The upcoming rookie moments. Yeah, that's something to be excited about. The rookie moments are always fun. Don't buy them on the marketplace. That's what I would say. Just wait. The features on the site are looking good. There we go. Less things are breaking. The burning. That's pretty exciting. Matthew says 251 days until the majority of Top Shot moments get unlocked. That's also true. The Pistons voiding the trade for Bol made me sad. I know the Celtics had him for a hot minute too. So there we go. I don't know. There are a couple of things people are excited about. That's exciting. I'm excited for them. All right, let's keep moving. The Nets and the Hornets. I wasn't able to watch this game because the Yes Network was down, which was really annoying. And then I tried to follow along on the app, but like the scoreboard went out, I think, in this game. And that's how bad the Hornets are. But the Nets won 98-94. KD was 27-8. Cam Thomas, back-to-back games, balling. Cam Thomas had 21-4. I'm excited for this. We might only get 3 more games of Unleash the Cam, but I hope he played well enough that he's like worked himself into the rotation. And then the Nets under Jacques Vaughn are now 2-1 without Kyrie and Jacques Vaughn 2-0. Granted, they played the Hornets. But yeah, anyways, good to see Cam Johnson. This was the game that Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, returned to action. He had 25-7 in his return. That's pretty exciting. Good to get Scary Terry back in the game. LaMelo sounds like he's getting closer. Sounds like he's getting closer. Yeah, Mass Collectible says the Hornets are really bad. All right, what did D-Rose said? It happens with players. Christian Wood, Jermaine O'Neal, Gerald Wallace says, yeah, those are good cuts, though. I like those deep cuts. Yeah, I'm just glad Bol Bol's getting a chance to shine. Perfect Serial says Hornets need to trade some vets and load up on draft picks. Yeah, dude, the Hornets, though, I think what's the record right now in the Hornets? The Hornets are like 2 and something, right? Let me, I was going to wait for the standings, but I'll just check where they're at right now. Yeah, they are 3-7. Gordon Hayward's not going to be on the team much longer, would be my guess, or his ankle's going to do something. I would also assume Scary Terry's going to be off the team and playing somewhere else around the trade deadline. And I hope they do. I love Terry Rozier. I hope he gets a chance to play like meaningful minutes on a good team. But anyways, 98-94, Nets take that one. KD continuing to cook. This was a fun one. I actually watched all this game. Hawks 121 to 124, Pelicans 121. This game went to overtime. Pretty exciting. Zion had, I don't know, a billion turnovers, but he did have 29-8-4. I think he had 8 turnovers in that game. CJ 29-10. Pelicans just ran out of gas in overtime. You could just see that they had a chance to win it in regulation. They were. Oh, wait, no, I'm confusing that with the Lakers game. Excuse me. I was thinking that was the Dyson Daniels thing. DeJounte Murray with a trip dub. He had 22, 11, and 10. Trae Young, 34 and 10. And Capella, we finally got one of those Capella games. We had 21 and 19. Just absolutely smash. I don't know how it's working. I don't understand. For those who are Atlanta fans, shout out the Mohawk Nation. That's before I get canceled for saying that. That is the Atlanta Hawks sub community or team captains, if that still exists. They are, shout them out. But yeah, I'd be curious. Like, I'm surprised it's working as well as it is, but it really, I mean, they're playing really, really well together, and they're both getting there. And the Hawks are winning games, man. The Hawks are winning games, so they're a nice surprise in the East. Again, I felt like their range of outcomes at the beginning of the season was all over the place. So pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see that they are doing well. All right, that's enough about that. Oh, so this is what I was saying. The Bucks Thunder. Bucks won 108, Thunder 94. I think this was the first bad SGA game we've had. I think you only had 18 points. I think they were fine losing this game. The Bucks sat Giannis, and everybody kind of like Bobby Portis had a good game. Brooke Lopez though had 25. Brolo went off. So it's a good W. Good W for the Bucks. They continue to win. Not too much to say about that. Same thing with this Wolves Rockets game. Wolves won 129. 117 over the Rockets. Rockets asserting themselves as we want the number 1 pick. Jalen Green starting to shoot a little bit better. He had 21. Kevin Porter Jr. had a pretty bad game. Karl Anthony Towns with 25 and 9, but good to see the Rockets get their win. Magnum said, I'm getting my first SoRare reward today. Capella got me there. Tier 3 limited income. And there you go. Hell yeah, man. Love to see it. Hey, let's remind the people too. A couple of things. If you haven't signed up for SoRare, you can do that. There's a link in the show notes, so check it out. Also, if you haven't done this yet, we only have 64 entrants. Like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, and put hashtag feelings into the chat. There we go. All right, let me catch up on the chat here. Dr. Dunk says, I'm shocked Brook Lopez is back and better than ever. I thought he was, dude, same thing, man. Like, back injuries are so weird, especially that he's getting a little bit older. I was like, man, this might be the end of Brook Lopez. I honestly, the fact that they don't really need to use Serge Ibaka at all, and he can just come in and play like 8 to 12 minutes a game or something like that, it's pretty exciting. Mask is saying Giddy is taking away from SGA. We'll take a minute. Yeah, I will say though, SGA's number's still been really good with Giddy back. How do we know the difference between a tier 2 and tier 3 reward? I'm trying to figure out like where the tiers are, where we can see it. So I don't really have that answer yet. And then Gnome said, heard the Top Shot Spaces with Matt from the beginning of the season. We burned 43,000 moments more than the minted, considering it's been more than 10% of the season. I find 43K negative to be worrisome. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. I got thoughts I'm going to keep to myself. Mills or Sumner for this week? Sumner. I think Sumner or Cam Thomas. I got a tier 2 reward. It was Garland, and a tier 3. I got Io. There you go. That's helpful. All right. We'll talk more SoRare in a little bit. I want to make sure I get through these games because somehow it's only Saturday. Nuggets Spurs. Nuggets won 126-101. Guys, Bones Highland is balling, okay? Bones Highland, this is the dangerous thing. Like, I don't know if this is going to be true when they're playing these competitive teams, right? But what I've noticed, I've watched a couple of these Nuggets games now where like Nuggets are maybe up somewhere in the 8 to 10 range, right? 8 to 10 range. And then what ends up happening is the second unit comes in and Bones goes off. Like that second unit of the Nuggets is going to be the Bones Brown combos. It's really going to help them separate. I've seen it happen a couple of times now against like bad teams. Actually, they did it against the Jazz too, where Bones comes in and they just take off. So Bones in this game, there's money in the Bones. Bones had 24-7. The Jokic had 21-10-6. Keldon Johnson 25-4, and then Devin Vassell again with 20 off the bench. So good win for them. Jump Shoot says Bones or Benedict better in 2 years. Probably Benedict. Probably Benedict, right? But yeah, that team's fun, man. That team is really fun. The Nuggets, again, they're my coming out of the Western Conference pick right now. Anyways, I think they're just going to continue to get better. Jamal Murray's slowly getting a little bit better, and what's great about that is that, but like, they got Bones in the wings, man. So they don't have to force it. They don't have to force Murray to be better yet. They can work him in. Stan says Spiteful Zakarian is the best. I don't even know if it's a spite. A spite does an interesting thing to me. I usually don't turn into a prick, which is nice, but I do work a lot harder when I do feel spiteful. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like Michael Jordan, taking that shit personally. I'm not like Michael Jordan. Don't clip that, but you know what I'm saying. All right, let's go. We are almost on to Sunday. So the Suns Blazers, I told you guys that was a back-to-back, right? Suns won by 20 in that second one. Booker went for 24. That was it. Nothing to write home about. Simon still missed time. It sounds like Dame might be back soon. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, I agree with this chicken Ferg. I agree with it. People, for the SoRare stuff, guys. So I'm just going to let you know, I'll have a video coming out later in the day about this, but I'm also doing the live before lock show, and we'll really dive into the Garland Mitchell thing. So there we go. All right, Sunday games. This is I'm excited to talk about this one because Twitter was going wild. Like, Lakers are back, baby. Lakers are back. Russ is back. This is fire. Russ 19-10. I just want you to know, in the games that Russ has been playing well, he was still in the plus-minus world, a minus on both those teams. He's -8 in that game. Mitchell and Garland, fresh off of their rest. Mitchell had 33-5, Garland 24-7, Jared Allen 16-11, Anthony Davis 19-12. Same thing, didn't take any shots. LeBron 27-7-4. There you go. Is the live before lock show at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Yes, guys, I'm still on board with this Jamal Murray thing. All right, I'm gonna take this L to the grave. Jamal Murray has been back for he missed a year and a half. He's been back for 10 games. Give him a second. Ooh, I like this. Is Bones this generation's Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford? It might be, dude. He's so wiry too. He's so wiry. He's like herky jerky with his ball too. Like, he's good. I really like it. Yeah, Garland and Mitchell, dude, the Cavs are good, man. Cavs are really, really good. Nothing else to say except for like, yeah, they're still really good. All right, Raptors, Bulls. Raptors won 113, 104. DeMar DeRozan with 20 and 5. Vucci Main 18 and 12. Goran Dragic was 16 off the bench. Dragic kind of like back to nice little backup point guard role, right? Just kind of coming in, playing some minutes. Fred VanVleet returned with a 30 and 11. He's feeling better. And Scotty Barnes with 19 and 10. So Raps still getting the win, even though they're without Siakam. So that's the beginning of their Siakamless journey. Grizzards. The Grizzards beat the Wizzlies. That sounds like Harry Potter shit. Grizzards and the Wizzlies. Grizzlies won 103-97. Kuz had 12 and 11. Desmond Bane with 28. And then Ja Morant had 23, 9 and 6. And then the last game of the night. Wow, hold on. Io minus 30 last night. Wow, that is tough. I did not see that, D-Rose. Jazz beat the Clips 110-102. Lord with 18 and 9. I was talking about Sexton getting his minutes extended a little bit. He had 22, and then Claxton at 23 and 5. And like we were saying, Paul George continues to cook with 34, 8 and 4. All right, let's go peek at the standings now that we've had a little bit more time. We're now, like most teams have played somewhere between 9 and 10 games, some even 11. Let's see what are we looking at here. So the Bucks still 9-0, undefeated. Cavs 8-1, Celtics 6-3, Hawks 6-3, Raptors 6-4, Bulls 5-6. We got the Knicks, the Pacers, both 4-5. Can't believe the Pacers have already won 4 games. Nets 4-6, Sixers 4-6. Then we get the Wizards 4-6, the Heat 4-6, Hornets 3-7, Detroit basketball with 2-8, Orlando Magic 2-8, and then over on the western side of things, we got the Suns 7-2, Jazz are 8-3. The Jazz might be good, guys. Jazz might be good. And then you've got the Grizzlies 7-3, Blazers 6-3, Nuggets 6-3, Mavs 5-3, Pels 5-4, Clips 5-5, Spurs 5-5, T-Wolves 5-5, and then holy shit, look at it down here, right? Thunder 4-5, Kangs 3-5, Warriors 3-7, Lakers 2-7, the Rockets 1-9. Good Lord, it's wild. Mask saying Jazz are very exciting to watch. Clarkson marketing looks good, but man, Conley is the green light. Yeah, and I like. It's weird, man. I like. What did the Jazz do? Because originally the Jazz were gonna like move some of these pieces, right? Like they keep it up at this pace. Like I don't know. They're just they don't play any bad guys. They have like no superstars, but nobody's bad that they're rolling out there. It's pretty wild to watch. Pretty wild to watch over there. Stop the slander, dude. I'm sorry. Those are your Pacers, baby. So let's take a look too at tonight's action. So as I was saying at the beginning, it's pretty nuts of the schedule that we have. I'm actually going to pull up J.E. Skeets from No Dunks, which, by the way, not that they need me to plug them because that's, they don't need that. You guys are all aware of him, but they do a show at 10 a.m. that will be starting, at 10 a.m. over on YouTube. But he tweeted out like what the schedule looks like for tonight. Look at this. So you got Wizards Hornets at 7. Rockets Magic at 7:15. Thunder. I like to think that they were scheduling all the bad games first. Like, look at this. 7. These 6 teams. I don't want to watch either of these games. So then we get to Pelicans Pacers. Suns Sixers will be fun. Bucks Hawks. That's the game that I think I'm most excited about. Well, one of the games I'm most excited about. Bucks Hawks is going to be a good one. Blazers Heat. Then you got Raps and Bulls. But Celtics Grizzlies at 9 o'clock. That one's going to be fire. I don't know. Maybe we fire up a little playback tonight. And then we got Knicks Wolves. We've got Nuggets and Spurs, Nets and Mavs, Kangs and Warriors, Lakers and Jazz again. That'll be fun. And then Cavs and Clippers. So a lot of action. Borland asking any word on Embiid. I don't know. We can actually go over to Underdog Fantasy Twitter to see Underdog NBA, see if we've got any news. Last thing we got was Reggie Jackson's uncertain. John Wall's already been ruled out. Most of the other stuff was for yesterday. So we'll be getting more. We'll be getting more news towards the end of the day. But yeah, that's the action for tonight. Just a reminder on some of the content that we got coming at you today. We have a football show at noon, and then we'll be back at 5:30 with the Live Before Lock SoRare show. I'm gonna go poke over at SoRare right now because we're having fun with it. Actually, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat too. If you haven't signed up for SoRare, This is time for the plugs. I'm going to drop a link in the chat. It's also in the show notes. But if you sign up using the link that we just shared, you immediately get 20 free common cards to get started, and you can play in free contests. And then if you buy 5 things off of the auction, you get a 6-1 free. Also, yeah, Weisberg, dude. I'm gonna pull up my Twitter and plug my own tweet for a second. But yeah, so I think it was Saturday night or was it Friday night? Jalen Rose tweeted out something. I mean, he was did a segment during the ESPN show, Bandy sighting. That was just kind of like, hey, we know a lot about Ime. Why don't we know about the women? And then I was like, let me see if I can find the tweet. But I saw it and I was like, oh, this is going to be like, what did I actually say? It was something about like, can't wait for this to wait, where is it? What day was that? Oh yeah, here it goes. I tweeted out right after I saw the clip. I was like, looking forward to the Jalen Rose apology or clarification tweet segment tomorrow. And then there it was right here. It looked like he was being held hostage, but whatever. At least he apologized. But it took all of like 20 minutes. That was like how the second half started, I think. Wild stuff, though. Wild stuff. But anyways, back to the SoRare streets for a second. We're going to dive in just over here. Whoops. Let's go look at what does it say pass or not? These are my lineups for this weekend. No, it's still in the live category. So this just ended today. So most of my stuff was shit. Here you can see my common. We ran into some stuff with Martin and Poku not playing. But then over here, we had Jokic and LeBron have good games. Giddey underperformed. Yang was pretty bad. And then Torrey Craig was fine. Our limited contender, we got burned here. We took a shot on JaMychal Green because with everybody that was hurt, I thought we'd see Green get some minutes. Gabe Vincent was a decent call. Shaedon Sharpe kind of underperformed. Keldon Johnson, a couple of bad games, so we didn't do too much. And then over here, we got killed by Kevin Porter Jr. had a bad game and also got dinged up. Cam Johnson got hurt, so he was out. Keon Johnson was bad, but this was our good one. This was the rare. This is my first time participating in a rare. Scooped a bunch of these, right? So we'll be getting. We had Jordan Poole who had 37. I was hoping Jordan Poole was going to get into mid 40s. Jeremy Grant had a really good game, and then Yuta crushed with 37. Zion with 1 million turnovers was pretty bad, and then Moses Moody had a low cap, so it allowed me to play some of these other guys. He put up 14. So we finished, what was the final? We finished 330th out of 2,200. So we'll be getting a limited back. Well, I mean, a rare back. We'll be getting a rare back. So there you go. People are saying, what's a realistic starter budget to acquire some non-common cards? So that's the thing, D Rose. First of all, I would shout out momentumlabs.app. If you're not using Momentum Labs, John has some really good projections over there that allows you to poke around at it. So I think you can make a solid lineup for like under $200, in my opinion. Like I think you can find some guys. I think because of the way it works, right? Because it's capped, and I know there's a lot of team hold people who haven't like broke the bank. Or D Rose, you want to? I think I pinned it to the chat, right? Did I pin it in here? Yeah, you should be able to see a link to SoRare that's pinned. But I think you can. I think you can do it for like a relatively cheapish thing. Noam said I would say 100 to 150 would give you a solid lineup for contender limited. Yeah, because you have to do the cap, right? Like just buying Jokic or Ja, like it's not very helpful because their cap's so high. So you do have to kind of like sift through it a little bit to make a nice little one. For contender, way less. I got my lineup for $50. There you go, Magnum. So there you go. And then there was another comment that I wanted to share. Josh was asking how much. So I originally was probably in that range of to the analytical site. Yeah, I was in that range until last week. Last week over on Friday, I ended up putting a little bit more in. I'd sold the Flovitar, actually. That's what I did. I sold the Flovitar and then got into it as well. Dropping this comment right in there. Oh, there we go. Tom saying use the SoRare link and got a common Curry, Şengün, and Vassell. There we go. And yeah, someone was asking about the rare. So they were like, wait, you can use limited in the rare. So the way this rare contender was working, I think it's still up. Let's see if we can look at the upcoming. You had to use at least 3 rare, but you could use 2 commons as well. So let's see. Yeah, same thing. So for the one that starts tonight, you can use 3 rare cards. You have to use 3 in order to get in there, but then you can use limited as well. I'll actually like build this right now to show. Oh, and the rare champion started as well. That's exciting. But looking at this right now, assuming that Draymond and all of these guys are back, here's what I'm working with. So I picked up a Terrence Mann and a Dwight Powell because of those low caps. Terrence Mann's going to be a great play if Reggie Jackson misses as well. Utah's still going to be a solid play. I think I still have a Cam Thomas in there as well. But because let's actually start with Cam. We'll start with Cam. I think I still, Cam Thomas. He's got the cap of 5, which is really nice. And then the other one that I wanted to throw in there, maybe let's throw in, Utah at 6 is like kind of nice too, even though they're both Nets. And that gives me like a cap of 33 the rest of the way. So I could throw in, like, if Simons is still going to miss time, this is a great play. Draymond at 27 is nice. But then I might even be able to fit in I could probably go Zion, Keldon, and then that leaves me with 19 to get something like that. So we'll keep building. We're going to do a little bit more of that tonight. Yeah, Ben Simmons sighting. Good Lord. Noam said had a video last night with 10 recommendations for week 6. My favorite are Boucher, Precious, and Herb Jones. Yeah, you guys should check out. Let me share Noam's Twitter. I'm going to share Noam's Twitter just so you guys can follow him. He's been doing some pretty cool content, both on YouTube and Twitter, right, Noam? So check out Noam stuff. Top Shot Talk's been doing stuff too. Joe says, are you holding your SoRare Primo? Looking to limit my exposure. Yeah, dude. So Joe, I can't imagine I can sell that Primo. So I'm just going to hold it. I don't know what else to do with it, So I don't know. Lowest Cam Thomas is 66. Borland, I'm going to tell you right now, once they announced the suspension, I picked up both a Cam Thomas rare. I picked that one up for $30, and I picked the Cam Thomas up for $8 for the limited one. And then I ended up selling the Primo exposure joke. God damn it. I miss it. That was a good joke, Joe. My bad. That was on me. I was moving too fast. It's a good joke, Joe. I missed it. But yeah, I ended up moving my Cam. I sold it too early, apparently, but I bought the Cam Rare for like 30, and I think I sold it for like 150, and then used those funds to buy a bunch of other stuff. Jumpshoot says, how many games do you think Kyrie is out? That's a great question, Jumpshoot. I got to tell you, man, it all depends. It all depends on how he acts. I think if he does what, like, the homework that the Nets gave them, which is like a whole other weird conversation. But if he does those things and then he comes back and is just kind of like owns, what happened and puts it behind him, I think it'll just be 5. But it all depends on it. Like, it's on him now. It's on him. I think there's, we've seen people come back before in the sports world, right? For lots of different stuff. Yeah, Shiggins is saying, did you listen to Zach Lowe's pod? Sounded like Kyrie has played his last game in the NBA. Was not out of the question. Yeah, I don't think it's out of the question. I think it's going to be 5 games, though. I think we'll see him back. Hamy's saying he'll play again, but not for the Nets. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think the range of outcomes are wild, right? You told me no one's going to pick him up right now. He's not going to get traded. I don't think anyone's going to give up any assets for Kyrie Irving right now. So I don't know, man, but he's also in a contract year. He's also getting hit. Like, his Nike deal isn't up. I saw a lot of people kind of misunderstanding. They put a pause on his shoe release. So like that, he is getting burned by that, but he hasn't lost his deal with Nike. So I don't know. You hit him in the pocketbook and, or the wallet. Should I have said wallet? Things change, right? We'll see. Yeah, but that podcast came out before he immediately apologized, right? Didn't he? He immediately apologized after that. So we'll see. Hammy says Bertans for Kyrie, straight up. What are good resources for projection on these SoRare? I'll share the Momentum Labs. I'm a Momentum Labs head. I'll show you what it looks like, so you can kind of see the spreadsheets along with me. Again, I use these too. I use these for all of my shit. So like when I do this live before lock show and anything else that I do, I use Momentum Labs. But if we go over to Momentum Labs, and they sponsor all of our football content as well, so shout them out. If you go over to his NBA fantasy projections, this is if you get behind the paywall, though. I forget, it's like $7 a month, maybe $9 a month for this. But they've got NBA fantasy projections for, as you can see here, Moment Ranks, SoRare. They also have some Super Draft stuff, but I find this to be very helpful. One of the really great things too, like if you can't do it here, but if you make a copy of this, right? Let's make a copy. Making copies. But if you make a copy, all right, cool. It's working pretty great so far. Also, while that's loading, don't forget, like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag feelings. We're going to give a basketball feelings subscription away. But anyways, when you look at this, right, if you scroll, wait, why isn't it? Oh, because I'm not looking at SoRare. If you scroll over here, right, you can enter, like you can keep track of your players that you have down here, right? But say you own Ja Morant, right? Like I do, and you're like, oh, I'm going to play Ja Morant in the MVP. Here we go. It automatically loads everything, right? So it tells you what the cap is. It tells you the projection. It also like won't allow you to go over whatever the salary cap is, right? So then say you want to play Damian Lillard. Now we got 43, projection of 86. So it keeps track of everything. And then obviously you can scroll over and do it for contenders as well. So yeah, I find this to be very helpful. I really like it. I use like projections and stuff for any sort of fantasy I use. So it's nice that they have something like that. I don't get any kickback for you signing up for Momentum Labs either. I really do enjoy using it. So there you go. But yeah, we'll use that a little bit more. All right, let's do it, guys. We talked. Ooh, those are my notes. That's not helpful. Let's go over to the giveaway because I think it's just about time. Real quick, just a reminder: like the stream, subscribe to Team Hole, put hashtag feelings. We'll be back at noon with some football content. 5:30 with some SoRare content. I might try to get another short out earlier today too. Tomorrow we have the morning show. If you're new, we do the morning show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I don't know if Watch Your Work is back this week. On Wednesday, we'll have the morning show. We'll also have a football show. We'll have some more SoRare content. Thursday, we'll have the morning show as well again. And then Friday, and Wednesday night, the 89 Cavs returns at 7 o'clock. Sorry, I forgot about that. Unique KD SoRare auction right now, about to go for $28,000. Whoa, it's not my bag. $31,000. It's pumping. Anyways, but good stuff. Excited to be back doing some content this week. We got a lot of fun shit for you. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't joined the Discord, get in there. We're having good times. Follow us on Twitter. Do all the things. All right, here we go. It's giveaway time. What about Dwight Powell? We talked about Dwight Powell, baby. We do. I grabbed a Dwight Powell. We're in on it. 200 college basketball games today combined with the NBA. Holy short balls. All right, here we go. Spinning it. If you win this, shoot me a DM so I can set you up and give that sub for you. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Alex. Alex, congrats on the W. All right, everybody. I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. We are retiring that intro song. So back to those old school Hawaiian elevator vibes. See you later.